Create a 3 minutes video for YouTube about the consulting process. Explain step by step how consultants solve real problems. Day 4. Welcome to Day 4 of our Management Consulting series, where we take a deep dive into the consulting process. The structured approach consultants use to analyze problems, develop solutions, and deliver measurable results for their clients. By now, you've already learned what consulting is, how the industry operates, and how consultant-client relationships are built on trust. Today's session connects all those concepts together into a clear, step-by-step understanding of how consultants actually work on real projects. The consulting process may vary slightly across firms, but most follow a standard framework consisting of 6 major phases: entry and contracting, diagnosis, analysis, solution development, implementation, and closure. Let's break each one down. The first stage is entry and contracting. This is where the engagement officially begins. The consultant and client define the purpose of the project, outline the scope of work, agree on objectives, timelines, deliverables, and budgets. This stage sets expectations and defines the rules of engagement. In many ways, it's like setting the foundation of a building. If it's unclear or weak, everything that follows risks falling apart. Consultants must listen carefully, clarify assumptions, and ensure both sides share the same vision of success. Once the contract is finalized, the project moves into the diagnosis stage. Think of this as a medical checkup for an organization. The consultant's goal here is to identify the root causes of the problem, not just the symptoms. For example, if a company's sales are dropping, the cause might not be just weak marketing. It could be poor product design, slow decision-making, or misaligned incentives. To uncover these insights, consultants use data collection, stakeholder interviews, process observation, and benchmarking against industry standards. This is the learning phase. Consultants immerse themselves in the client's world to fully understand what's going on. Next comes analysis, where all the information gathered during diagnosis is structured, quantified, and interpreted. This is where the consulting toolkit comes into play. Frameworks like SWOT, Porter's 5 Forces, the 7S model, and financial ratio analysis help consultants identify patterns and prioritize issues. The goal here is clarity. Consultants take massive amounts of data and simplify it into actionable insights. They use tools like Excel, Power BI, or Tableau to visualize findings and ensure every conclusion is backed by evidence. At this stage, consultants don't just analyze what's wrong, they start shaping what could be better. Once the analysis is complete, consultants enter the solution development phase. This is where creative problem-solving meets business reality. The team develops strategic recommendations and potential implementation roadmaps. But the best consultants don't work in isolation. They collaborate closely with the client. Together, they evaluate different options, test hypotheses, and tailor strategies to fit the client's capabilities and culture. This phase often includes workshops, brainstorming sessions, and scenario planning to ensure that the final solution is practical, sustainable, and aligned with the client's long-term goals. The next and often most challenging phase is implementation. This is where plans meet reality, and where consultants prove their real value. Implementation involves translating recommendations into concrete actions, guiding the client through organizational change, and monitoring progress. Consultants might design new processes, train teams, or help establish performance metrics. However, this stage also requires diplomacy and empathy, because change often meets resistance. Effective consultants act not as outsiders giving orders, but as partners helping the client's team build confidence and capability to carry the change forward. Finally, we reach closure and follow-up. This is the formal completion of the engagement, but it's more than just handing over a final report. A professional consultant ensures that results are measured, learnings are captured, and the client feels equipped to sustain progress independently. Many firms also conduct post-project reviews to gather feedback and identify opportunities for future collaboration. Ethical consultants don't create dependency. They leave clients stronger, more capable, and more confident than before. Now, let's look at how these stages connect in real life. Imagine a retail company facing profitability decline. During entry and contracting, the consultant defines the problem. Why are profits falling despite steady sales? In diagnosis, they gather data and discover that costs have risen sharply due to inefficiencies in the supply chain. In analysis, they quantify the impact. Logistics inefficiencies account for 15% of lost margin. During solution development, they propose supplier consolidation and process automation. Then, in implementation, they help train the client's procurement team and oversee the rollout of new systems. Finally, during closure, they measure results. Profit margins improve by 12% within 6 months, and the client has a stronger, more agile supply chain. The beauty of the consulting process lies in its structured flexibility. It gives consultants a clear roadmap, but also leaves room for creativity, adaptability, and human understanding. It's both science and art, combining analytical rigor with emotional intelligence. To deliver effectively across these stages, consultants rely on several key skills. Analytical thinking, the ability to break down complex problems and find patterns. Communication, explaining insights clearly and persuasively. Project management, keeping the engagement on track, within scope and timeline. Collaboration, working seamlessly with client teams. Adaptability, responding to unexpected challenges without losing focus. Each consulting engagement may look different. A digital transformation project won't follow the same path as a market entry strategy, but the underlying structure remains consistent. Whether it's a top-tier firm like McKinsey or a specialized boutique, all follow a disciplined process that ensures clarity, precision, and value delivery. At this point, students and aspiring consultants should start thinking beyond theory. Ask yourself, how would you diagnose a problem in your own organization? What frameworks would you use to prioritize issues? What would your implementation roadmap look like? Thinking like a consultant means applying structured problem-solving to any situation, big or small. As we wrap up Day 4, remember, consulting isn't just about solving problems, it's about creating lasting change. A great consultant not only delivers insights, but helps clients build the mindset and systems to continue improving long after the project ends. In Day 5, we'll explore the tools and frameworks that power consulting, from problem trees and MECE structuring to hypothesis-based thinking and presentation storytelling. You'll learn how top consulting firms turn raw data into powerful recommendations. Until then, stay curious and keep thinking like a consultant, structured, analytical, and always focused on impact. Jakar Management Consulting. Jakar Consulting Process. Jakar Business Strategy. Jakar Consulting Skills. Jakar McKinsey. Jakar BCG. Jakar Bain. Jakar Deloitte. Jakar Consulting Career. Jakar Strategy Consulting. Jakar Project Management. Jakar Problem Solving. Jakar Consulting Frameworks. Jakar Business Growth.